Americans are fleeing California in droves. Known as one of the least free states in the nation, California is known for burdensome regulations, overtaxation, the train to nowhere, crumbling infrastructure, yet California is also home to fisheries and beautiful vineyards, redwood forests and some of the most fertile farmland and scenic views in the nation. Overtaxation, overregulation, and government abuse and mismanagement are destroying what was once a beautiful state with sanctuary policies, and the producers in the state are paying a hefty price. Forbes reports, according to new research released by Charles Varner, Associate Director of the Stanford Center on Poverty and Inequality, California lost an estimated 138 high-income individuals following passage of the Proposition 30 income tax increase championed by Governor Jerry Brown and approved by Golden State voters in 2012. This new research by Varner updates a previous paper released 6 years ago that looked at domestic migration to and from California following a 2004 income tax hike. One reason we wanted to update our previous paper is that this tax change in 2012 is the largest state tax change that we have seen in the U.S. for the last 3 decades, Varner said. Prop. 30 raised the state's top income tax rate by more than 29%, increasing it 3 percentage points from 10.3% to 13.3%, which is now the highest state income tax rate in the nation. Prop. 30 also hiked the tax rate on income between $300,000 and $500,000 by 2 percentage points, a 21.5% rate increase, and raised the rate on income between $500,000 and $1 million by 3 percentage points, a more than 32% rate hike. In 2016, California voters extended the Prop. 30 income tax increases, which were originally scheduled to expire in 2019, until 2030. There will be an effort to extend those income tax hikes yet again prior to their expiration in 2030. Book it now. Varner's new research examined taxpayers who were and were not hit by the Prop. 30 rate hikes. He found that in the 2 years before the Prop. 30 tax hike was imposed, 2011 and 2012, net in-migration for both groups was positive and roughly constant, yet following 2012 and the passage of Prop. 30, net in-migration dropped for households that were facing an effective tax increase of 0.5% or more. The reduction was greatest for households facing the highest effective tax hike, according to Varner and his co-authors. This isn't surprising for those who are familiar with other attempts to soak the rich with punitive state income tax hikes on high earners. Take what happened in Maryland after Martin O'Malley, the former Democratic presidential candidate and governor, imposed a millionaire's tax hike a decade ago. For anyone familiar with the current progressive talking points, this sounds much like a former presidential candidate and current senator from Vermont Bernie Sanders' campaign rally and the talking points of many so-called Democratic socialists, like that of current New York congressional candidate, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Forbes goes on to note additional research from Varner noting other areas that have tried the same approach as California is currently trying and all have ended in abject failure.